The ManaTraders Vintage event on Magic the Gathering Online comes once a year usually, and it features over 200 players. I'm excited to battle it out in 9 rounds of Vintage Magic the Gathering. Welcome back, Vintage Gamers, bright and early to a 10K Vintage event on Magic the Gathering Online, hosted by ManaTraders. This has the possibility of being the largest Vintage event of all time because it is a free entry tournament, where if you are a ManaTraders subscriber, you get like 10 times the prizes or something like that. Straightforward, we're just playing Doomsday today. This is the best deck in the format, or the second best deck in the format, depending on if you're a Lurrus Saga gamer or a combo gamer. This is a very much a straightforward stock list for me. I do have a Spell Pierce instead of a third Flusterstorm, which is going to hedge against Jewel and Initiative, which I think will be a large portion of the metagame. I have an extra series of removal and a Virtue's Ruin. I have a Shieldred for Lurrus, and then the rest of this deck is very much the same thing I played at NYSE. It's just straightforward. The deck is really broken as long as I can play to the level I know I am capable of. Most Doomsday losses are because of the Doomsday pilot, and I experienced that last night, actually. It'll be a video that doesn't actually go up on YouTube, so if you want to watch a really bad showing on a Vintage Challenge, you can check out my Twitch VODs from 7/19/24. I just was very tired and played extremely poorly and got punished over and over again for playing poorly, which I think is a good thing. But the matchups and what we had last night just did not end up becoming like a useful video or a good video. And I think I'm going to try to up my standard to have more videos that are, me playing better. That being said, if you want to watch it, it will always be on my Twitch VODs. All my Twitch VODs are always public. You can always see it. I'm not hiding it or anything. I'm just not rendering it. So, Vintage 10K today, ManaTraders event with Doomsday. I will see you in round 1. Are you interested in weekly Vintage metagame recommendations? Do you want to see your deck list played on my channel? Or maybe you are just looking for the best way to support my Vintage content? Make sure you check out the Patreon link in the description below. Let's battle. Okay, after much stuff happening, we have actually got the match going here. So I am playing against Hermano. Hermano is on Lurrus. I can bring up the deck. This is what the deck looks like. It's just Lurrus with Bowmasters and Frogs. Nothing crazy. Misstep, 1 Fluster, 1 Bobble. Nothing wild. Yeah, I mean, open deck list is the way of the future for sure. You can be mad about it, but it's not going to change the fact that these kind of tournaments are always going to be run with open deck list. Open deck list is uniquely bad for Vintage because decks get significantly worse. Decks like Dredge and Mono White and these linear decks get worse, but again, I think that's a good thing. So. All right, so we're against Lurrus. I have only 1 land and no cantrips, but I have Doomsday, Force, Street Wraith, Dark Ritual, so let's just keep this. This is a win by Dark Ritual, Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Street Wraith into Lotus, Crack Lotus for blue, Time Walk into Ancestral. Oh, is it actually a win? Blue, black. I have blue floating. I have to Time Walk, but I won't have a Black Lotus after. So it might not actually be a win. It might have to pass the turn again. Let's see. Hold on. No, because I could do Sapphire, right? So I could just go on my second turn, Ancestral into Sapphire Land or Oracle. Yeah, okay, so still a win. Just have to hope my opponent doesn't have double force. Or Mental Misstep for what it's worth. Kind of a risky hand, but definitely a hand I'm willing to keep, so. Turn 1 kill with force backup is definitely something we're interested in doing here. Okay, Black Lotus into Time Walk, Ancestral into Land, Oracle, and Sapphire. Okay. Let's double check. Street Wraith into Lotus. Lotus Walk is 4 cards down to 3 cards. Ancestral down to 0 cards. Island, Sapphire, Oracle. Okay. Okay, last cards. Sea, Oracle, Sapphire, Ancestral, Lotus, Street Wraith. I mean, this is just a Doomsday hand. It is definitely one of the best Doomsday hands, though, so. I mean, this is why you play the deck. Like, it's broken. I don't know what to tell you. It's still broken. Okay, Shieldred is going to come in here, and Dress Down is going to come in, as well as Long Goodbye. And then we can take out Vampiric Tutor and Spell Pierce and Mystical Tutor. Just card disadvantage into hard to deal with answers. Daze can come out if we want to play Fatal Push as well, which I think I am, just because of Frog. So, conditional stuff for better cards. Submit. Okay. Game 2. I don't expect all of them will be that easy, but we'll see. No. So this one, I like this hand. Fetch a basic, start casting. Wasteland. Vexing Bauble, sure. Again, Vexing Bauble is annoying, but Vexing Bauble isn't like Doomsday hate. So we just need to make sure we play around it. Especially in this matchup where my opponent is not clocking me like Initiative. Initiative, the restrictions of not being able to cast cards through Bauble were higher because they are doing more damage to me, but that's not the case here. So let's go get a basic island and cast a Preordain. Looking for more lands. That's a land. Don't want a Dark Ritual. Take a land. Go. The good news about a Vexing Bauble in play means my opponent is not going to be forcing me. Their deck is much more reliant on forces. It has 4 Force of Will, 3 Force of Negation, Gataxian Probe. That's another one. Okay. This is basically every Bauble game I've ever played. It just like hurts my opponent incredibly hard, and yeah. I do have to be pretty careful here though, because Vexing Bauble is stopping Black Lotus, and Wasteland is on my Underground Seas, which is going to make it hard for me to do a Doomsday kill. So like right now, I could go Dark Ritual Doomsday and cantrip into a pile. But maybe that's just fine. Maybe we should do that. I have a Flusterstorm as well. I think I'm allowed to just wait a little bit, though. I'm going to cast Gataxian Probe and see what's in my opponent's hand, and that way we can build a good pile. Yeah, so they have... Oh, what the heck is happening? I mean, they're going to end up cracking this Bauble, right? My opponent has Vampiric, Brainstorm, Flusterstorm. Maybe I should have actually just gone for it. I guess I could just go for it anyways. I just have to like make a slow pile that has a bunch of lands and oracles and stuff. It's probably fine. All right, so I think my pile is going to be 2 oracles and 3 lands, with my top card being a fetch land, and my bottom card being an Underground Sea, so it's 2 lands. So if I do this, and I Street Wraith into... I don't think I want to do that Gush stuff. I think I just want to have lands and oracles, and then I have Time Walks as well. So if I get a Flooded Strand and an Oracle, then I can crack and get an Underground Sea and go for a Oracle on the next turn. Yeah. Pretty sure I like this file. Oracle, Oracle, fetch land, go. Well, you can still cast Gush and pick up your lands, so. Oh, they're just gonna crack Bobble. Okay. So I could even, I was gonna say I could Time Walk, but they still have a Wasteland, so there's kind of no point, right? So if their card is Force, they drew 2 cards. If their card is Force, then I still have a second Oracle, but it's gonna be 1 turn later. I could instead just go Preordain. I think I'll just make them have a Force. Okay. Oh, I could actually order it with the Oracle. So, no, I guess the Oracle we countered. I would have to wait 2 turns to win the game, but I think that's fine from this spot. Anyways, we got there. Okay, here we go. Round 2, we're up against Juan. Juan has a very stock-looking mono-white initiative deck and has won the die roll, which is very important here. I have Dark Ritual, Street Wraith, Demonic. Is this a worthwhile keep? That's a tough question. 1, 3, 5, Demonic, Doomsday, Street Wraith. Extra cantrip is a win if they just jam on a creature. I'm gonna try keeping this. On the draw versus mono white initiative is like really tough no matter what. Looks like they're revealing a Chancellor though, so it's kind of unfortunate. I don't know. I think losing the die roll here is a big problem. In game 1. Also a 7-card keep from the opponent. Oh, I still should keep this. And a turn 1 3-drop. Do I want to cycle my Street Wraith in response? Yeah, I guess I do. Okay. Well, that's at least something I can cast on turn 1 and pay for. I wonder what my opponent will name from here. Good, very strong starting hand from the opponent. When mono white initiative doesn't have to mulligan and they can still play a turn 1 3-drop protected, it's definitely what you're looking for as the mono white player. I'm not really sure what kind of hand you do want from Doomsday on the draw in this matchup. Like, oh, they just named Oracle? Sure. Like, it's going to be really hard to win this game. I don't have any removal in my main. So I could let this probe go. Maybe this deck just needs to have a single removal spell in the main, or even like a dress down. The dress down doesn't really help here. I just need to hit like all my mana sources and like not die in the process, which seems very challenging. I could just get this probe countered and then I can resolve an ancestral. Or I can just pay for this probe. Like, do I need every card? I think I'm gonna pay. I don't know. Like, there's some upside. Like, if I let the probe go and then ancestral, I can maybe hit a force for the next play. They could always have a cavern, though. Yeah, I mean, if this is Cavern Season Dungeoneer, I don't know if there's like a... I mean, I have Dark Rituals to help pay for an Oracle, but it's gonna... Oh, no! I think we're dead. I think we are dead. Oh, I like my opponent's names here. 6 mana Thassa's Oracle. I mean, I feel like we could eventually do this, but like we have so many Dark Rituals. Like it feels like this is possible. We can go to Ancestral now. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna preordain now. Ancestral on their turn. Doomsday. So this actually lets me Dark Ritual Doomsday. Do I die? I do die, right? Because I would lose half my life rounded up, so I'd go to 6 and die. It's unfortunate. So what I really need to do is get a consultation. So maybe what I should have done is just demonic for a consultation and then hope to draw a land and like ritual. That's probably what I was supposed to do. But I have an ancestral still, so let's just bottom and cast ancestral on their turn. I think I might have just made a huge mistake though. If I had demonic there, did I have a win on the next turn? Theoretically, like demonic for consult, and then one of these things makes 5 mana. So 4 consults. Yeah, I mean, I could have won the game if I hit a land on the top. Damn. I'm really stupid, huh? I could have had a win. If I just like, if I use that turn to demonic for consult and then I hit a land off the top. Damn. Okay. This game is still winnable from this spot here. I'm taking 6 and... I need like Time Walk or to just draw the consult now. I hit another Dark Ritual. Does that do it? Okay, so I have 3 mana. I Dark Ritual. So I have this is paying for Oracle. My Dark Rituals are 3 mana, 5 mana, 7 mana, 5 mana, Console, and 4. I think that wins. Three mana, 5 mana, 7 mana, 5 mana, consult to 4 mana, 4 mana to pay for Oracle consults. Think that means we win. I guess there's no reason not to cycle this first. This is stupid. This is so dumb. I just won. What? I don't deserve that because I played so badly. I was supposed to demonic the turn earlier, but it's just. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I definitely played that game badly because I needed to demonic the turn before, which would have given me like way better chances to win the game. But we got there anyways. We get to steal a game 1. And let's bring in the same things. We can bring in Fatal Push, Long Goodbye, Virtue's Ruin. We need to consider Dress Down. We need to consider Negation and Trap on the draw. How many baubles from the opponent? 4 baubles from the opponent, and they're definitely going to stay in. And then Flusterstorm is always bad. I think we'll keep the Mental Misstep in then. The Daze looks bad. The Spell Pierce is bad. So then this is the easy 4 for 4, and then the Necro is bad, so we'll bring in a Trap, and then do I want something else for negation? Do I want something else for negation? I feel like the answer is still yes. We can maybe just do Cruise for negation. Obviously, negation and trap get a lot worse in this Vexing Bauble meta for initiative, but this is Force of Will, Dark Ritual Doomsday, or Dark Ritual Virtue's Ruin. Okay. Mulligan into 6 from the opponent. I think it is. I do think it's the best Doomsday art. They revealed a Chancellor, so my force is turned off. They have a Bauble too. They have a Petal. They have a Mox. They have a turn 1 3-drop as well. Another turn 1 3-drop with Chancellor is pretty strong. Let's see which one it is. Archon. That's a problem. So what do I want to do? I could throw the Probe into the Chancellor so I can have force up on my next turn. I can play my tap land. The problem is I'm really far from Virtue's Ruin because of the Archon. I could play the Probe and pay for it, and then I think that's just the best line. Oh, I used the... Okay. I did it too early. That's fine. Oh, then immediately Vexing Ball will turn off my Force of Will. Sure. Would rather have this Dress Down in my hand. It's okay. That saves me life. I immediately draw Black Lotus into the Vexing Bauble. Classic. Punish me for not forcing this Vexing Bauble. All right, never mind. It's just 2 Vexing Baubles, no problem. Probably the opponent should crack a Vexing Bauble looking for a Wasteland. I'm still a lot of mana off of Virtue's Ruin, though, unfortunately. Looks like they did not hit a mana. But I also didn't hit a mana. So I guess it's just a pass. End of turn Undercity Sewers. We've got a lot of time at the moment. Like, the probe thing is unfortunate, but it's not a huge deal. It saves me a whole last turn, right, with damage. So let's go with the Undercity Sewers and see if we can find more lands on the top. Ponder. I feel like Ponder is good here. Just use Ponder to find a land. I guess I could just go Demonic Tutor for a land as well. I could just Demonic Tutor for... I don't have a Cut Down in my deck. I do have a Long Goodbye, though. I feel like hitting a land drop is too important, though. So let's Ponder for a land drop. All right, there's my land drop. Oh, my opponent hit a Cavern of Souls. I still have a Virtue's Ruin in this game if I can live long enough. This thing is going to be another enter the battlefield tap land, though. which is a problem. But what I can do is I can fetch. No, I can't. It's so hard to play through Archon. It's crazy hard to play through Archon. I guess maybe the answer is I should just end of turn Dress Down and then Virtue's Ruin. Maybe that's just the play. But my opponent's going to maybe take the initiative here. Oh, another Archon. Okay. All right, definitely want to fetch on my upkeep. I guess if I want to fetch on my upkeep here to give my chance to draw another land. Drew a Sapphire. All right, so I have not very many options from this spot. Next turn, I can theoretically Dress Down and then go Dark Ritual, Virtue's Ruin, Demonic Tutor. Maybe. I think we just have to. I just have to hope I don't get wastelanded, right? I have to kind of hope they don't have a good creature here. Like if they have an Anointed Peacekeeper here, that would be a huge problem. We know they have a Chancellor and 2 unknowns. We're at 6 life, so if I hadn't done that probe thing... Oh, they're going to crack a Bauble? Interesting. And it's an initiative creature? Oh, it's a Peacekeeper. That's fine, though, because I have Virtue's Ruin and Dress Down. So I think my opponent just played themselves. I think we win the game now. Because if my opponent... Oh, I guess we don't win the game. Yeah, we win the game now. My opponent just played themselves. They cracked their Vexing Bauble, and now they're dead. Because if they name Virtue's Ruin, we just end of turn Dress Down. No, I need to Dress Down at the end step here. I don't even need to Virtue's Ruin. Can I just win with Black Lotus here? Do I even need to Virtue's Ruin? Like, I can just do Doomsday, Time Walk, Oracle Pile. I mean, I can do everything. I mean, I don't care. Whatever. I'm just going to do everything. As long as I remember there's a Dress Down in play. All right, so from here, my pile can just be anything, really. No, you can't Dress Down in I mean, you can Dress Down in response. It's just... Okay, whatever. It's fine. I don't want to listen to chat right now. I'll explain it after, if it makes sense. So, if I casting Preordained to break into my pile would be 4 cards, Ancestral to 3 cards, and then Ancestral is just Time Walk, and then Oracle. Seems fine. Unless my opponent has like double Mindbreak Trap. Is there like a more succinct pile then that can beat double Mindbreak Trap here? Let's see. I Preordain into Gush. I Gush into... I can just play a land and Time Walk. All right, Preordain into Gush. I have not played a land this turn, so I Preordain into Gush, and then I play a land and I Time Walk. And then I put like Oracle. Preordain into Gush. Gush puts me down from 5 to 3, and then on my next turn it's to 2. But I kind of want to just... Do I play around? I don't have to play around Solitude plus counter. So I can just put like 2 oracles and another land in the pile. I don't, because I don't need to put another land in the pile. Gush. What if we just don't do Gush then? And instead we just do Ancestral, Preordained to 4, Ancestral to 3. Ancestral is gonna be Land Sapphire. Where's Sapphire? Oh, Land Sapphire. Time Walk. Preordain. Land Sapphire. Preordain down to 4. Ancestral down to 3. Land Sapphire, Time Walk. And then can I do 2 oracles in this pile? No. But do I need to do 2 oracles in the pile? Also no. Preordain down to 4, Ancestral down to 3. Ancestral draws me Sapphire, Land. I cast Time Walk, I untap, and I go Oracle with Force backup. It's probably close enough. So let me just do 5 down to 4, 4 down to 3, 1, 4 down to 1, 1 to 0. Yeah, done. Okay. Last card, Oracle. Second to last card, Land Sapphire. Ancestral is on top. Preordain. Ancestral. That's not how dress down is going to work. Don't worry, chat. I'll help explain it to you after. Dress down's going away so that my Thassa's Oracle can trigger. Devotion does not matter. I'm trying to just get to 0 and then have a force backup, which should be good enough. All right, got there. I didn't have to do all that, but I felt like after last night's mistakes on the 5th card, I wanted to make sure I got it all correct. There's a couple like different things we can do there. All of them are probably winning. I guess theoretically, because my opponent didn't play a Wasteland, I could do the dress down in response to the Anointed Peacekeeper and then just cast Virtue's Ruin. But like I said, responding doesn't matter, because if my opponent names dress down, I can still do the Virtue's Ruin. And if my opponent doesn't name dress down and they name Virtue's Ruin, then I just end of turn dress down and build a pile that beats it anyways. So like, all roads lead to victory. So here we go. Round 3 of 9 in this ManaTraders open event. 265 players. We're up against Mayhem. Mayhem is playing his own version of Mono White Initiative. There's Dauntless Dismantlers. There's Arbiters, which are quite good against us. Peacekeepers, Boromir, 3 Marches, and then some Mindbreak traps in the sideboard that we have to play around. So definitely his own version of the deck, and it's going to be a little bit better than a normal version versus us. We have won the die roll. We've got Dark Ritual Doomsday on turn 1. Tapped land is unfortunate. I mean, I'm going to keep this. I just need to figure out how I'm going to build this pile. This is not an easy pile to build. Man, how the hell do I build this pile? Maybe I just go for an Ancestral instead. Probably not. I have to build a pile versus a 7-card initiative hand. Like, it's gonna have to include multiple lands and Oracle. I actually think this pile is like not gonna be good no matter what I choose. So I'm kind of interested in maybe just going for Ancestral instead. Like, I'm not happy with the idea of this pile. Like, what is this pile going to be? Like, you can't, like, if they have a Vexing Bauble, and then there's problems. I am not confident to make a Doomsday pile against an open Mono White Initiative here. There's too many things to play around. They could have Vexing Bauble, they could have Archon, they could have Dismantler, they could have Peacekeeper. I'm just gonna pass. I think I'm losing too much equity by jamming a Doomsday there. And I have a lot of different ways to play this out with Ancestral. Dismantler, Wasteland, is it Arbiter? Did another Dismantler. See, like the Lotus pile wouldn't have even worked. This is okay, though. That's not the strongest turn one. So is there a Vamp that secures a win here? If I were to Vamp for... I don't think there's a Vamp that secures a win here. So I'm just going to go get Underground Sea and Ancestral. Those are not great. They're not bad, though. Ponder. So I think we'll just go Dark Ritual, Doomsday, and try to build for pile from here. So I can't win the game because Dauntless Dismantler is going to stop my Black Lotus. So I do need to build a pass the turn pile here. But I can put a Force in my pile. If I want. They could still have another Cavern. So I could go top card Force, Ponder into it. I get Wastelanded, and then I mean, I'm going to have to, if I get Wastelanded no matter what, because this is not a Watery Grave, I'm going to have to take an extra turn to win. Or I could just Ponder into a Black Lotus right now and play my Black Lotus out. But I don't really feel like that's a great play. But it's a play I could make. I think I like the idea of Force more than I like the idea of that. So if I draw a Force, I can Ponder Gush, but I can't win because my Black Lotus enters tapped. Yeah, but them blowing up my Lotus isn't actually bad for me, but it's okay. All right, I think my pile is going to include, let's see. Like, I'm going to have to play an Undercity Sewers. So what do I want my second card to be? It's kind of a hard one. Well, I guess if I get Wastelanded and I could just not go for Force, and in which case I could do a Gush pile. So like what I could do, that's like a really bad pile against second Wasteland though. But what I could do is I could go Ponder into Gush, pass the turn, and then play my land, Gush. Is that better? I still want Force on top. So if I think I just want a bunch more lands. I think I want a Force on top, draw Force. Is this enough lands? Chat, there's a fucking Dauntless Dismantler. Please stop suggesting Black Lotus piles. So I'm going to draw my Force, and then Street Wraith. I think I'm going to do something like this. What were their removal spells? There is a March of the Otherworldly Light. All right, I'm going to try something like this. Underground Sea. I mean, there's probably something I can do with Undercity Sewers, but I'm not seeing it. Well, the problem with Time Walk is the problem with Time Walk is if I had to use my Undercity Sewers. Looks like I figured out the best line though. I like that. I was expecting getting wastelanded, but my opponent played around me like not having a force, which is dumb because I definitely had a force in my pile. They could definitely tell if I had a force in my pile. So I think they're supposed to wasteland there, but it's kind of a hard choice. I think the number one thing I'm worried about in that set is losing to Wasteland. So I had to build like a very redundant pile that can put a bunch of lands in play. And the person who said Time Walk is definitely on the right idea. But by putting Street Wraith over Time Walk, I guess they do the same thing there because I didn't get Wastelanded. But if I did get Wastelanded, I think Street Wraith is slightly better because the only card in my hand is the tap one. So all right, so I'm going to do the same thing as last time with Fatal Push, Long Goodbye, and Negation, Dress Down, and Trap. Out goes Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce on the draw, Necropotence, Treasure Cruise, and Daze. Yeah, this deck's broken. We've been over this. But yeah, like obviously, if my opponent didn't have a Dauntless Dismantler in play, it was very easy. We could have just pondered into Gush, Black Lotus, kill my opponent immediately. But so now this game gets harder. Post board, my opponent does have 2 Mindbreak traps that we have to keep in mind. Daze is not restricted, but it does get worse in multiples in this format. Another Undercity Sewers in hand. No counter magic. Virtue's Ruin, Doomsday. I kind of hate this hand. I don't really like this hand, but it's not bad. I'll try it. I have some concerns. I have some concerns. Okay, just a cavern draw. Peacekeeper, I assume, then. Oh, uncounterable White Bloom. Interesting. Maybe they have a Mindbreak Trap hand, then. I could go for the win on the next turn with Mystical Dark Ritual. I feel like we just play Misty Pass. I feel like they have a Mindbreak Trap in their hand, but I currently don't have an answer to a Mindbreak Trap. I'm also worried because I'll go to 15 and I'll go to lethal range if I run into Mindbreak Trap here. Null Rod. Interesting. That's a resolve in my book. And a strip mine. Wow. Okay. So I have a problem with Fatal Push. I can Street Wraith into Fatal Push. I don't really want to get hit for 5 again. Because I no longer have a Doomsday win. No, I do still have a Doomsday win. No, I don't have a Doomsday win because of Null Rod. So I need to play a bit of a longer game. I definitely need to remove this creature. So I can Mystical for a... I guess they could Wasteland my Rainforest in response. I guess I could just wait and do it all at instant speed. So if I Mystical and then I Street Wraith and they attack my Rainforest, it's pretty bad for me. But also, I guess I can just fetch first. Okay, I can just fetch first. I don't have to do this now. No, I do want to get rid of this creature. I don't think Gushing is helping me. But if like my opponent chooses to keep this around to cast a spell, it's pretty good for me. So no, they're just gonna strip mine me and pass, I assume. Hopefully they don't have a 2-drop. Oh, I have a 2-drop? That's not good. Dismantler. Okay, that's not that bad though. I don't have a lot of time though. Consult. She's looking for lands and Oracle. So I could technically get rid of a card that I put back if I were to Brainstorm first, or I could get rid of a card I don't want on Ponder, or I could just Undercity Sewers first, which digs me even deeper. Don't know which one makes the most sense. Definitely don't want that. So that worked out pretty well. So then I just want to Ponder, looking for land Oracle, Black Lotus, Demonic Tutor, Force. So I just take Force for now, and then next turn Demonic Tutor, but I'm still missing a land drop. And if I get Wastelanded, I'm in trouble, but... Or I could not keep this, and then just Heart of the Cards. I can counter non-clerics, but like, what are non-clerics from here? It's like Land Archon, Ancient Tomb, Seasoned Dungeoneer, Boromir, Witch Enchanter. Like another White Plume is bad. Another Peacekeeper or an Arbiter is bad. They're also going Archives into Throne, which is a problem. So this is like a little slow. And I would still have to draw a land. So maybe I just have to put this back? That's kind of crazy if that's the case, but I might just have to put this back. I shuffled and then redrew the Force. DT for a land for Virtue's Ruin is too late. That's why I didn't do it. I would DT for an Oracle and try to hit a land off the top is what I would do, but... Well, they're about to Throne off here. Oh, they did hit Ancient Tomb. All right, well, this works out. I'm just gonna force this. Wait, I guess I can keep this. The problem is, maybe I could beat a Throne with a Virtue's Ruin. This is only gonna put me to 3. I thought it was gonna be a Seasoned Engineer, which I would have countered. Doomsday. I mean, now I need this Brainstorm to hit. So maybe I should have just kept Demonic for... Maybe I could have just kept Demonic for a land and then Virtue's Ruin. Dark Ritual. I also hit Oracle and a land. Oh, so if I don't lose a land on my next turn, do I win? It depends on what's off their throne. Is it better to Dark Ritual Virtue's Ruin their board now? Or... Well, if Throne hits Archon, we can just Virtue's Ruin. We can't win on the same turn, but... I also don't have blue card force. I feel like the chances of hitting an Archon and the chances they'll put an Archon in play are super high, though. Also, I don't really want to redraw these Doomsdays. I can take 3. There's no way they can pump this turn no matter what. I just have to hope I don't lose a land. If they don't hit an Archon, then I just go Oracle Consult. And if they do hit an Archon, then I just go Virtue's Ruin, pass. They hit Archon, Dungeoneer, Dismantler. None of these things trigger Dungeoneer. So I assume they're just going to put Archon in play. Yeah. And a Mindbreak Trap is on the bottom. That's worth knowing. Cavern. Like, if they play another initiative here, is it bad? All right, Virtue's Ruin. So now they have to, they need to draw another Archon or a Wasteland. Oh, it shuffles? Oh, this Plains is going to shuffle anyways. All right, I just need to dodge an Archon here. It looks like I did. So now I need to dodge a removal. No, a removal spell doesn't do it. Wow. This deck is so silly, man. The Virtue's Ruin sideboard card came in clutch, though. Let's go. That's good sideboarding. I'm playing really nice today. I think I'm playing really well right now. Hopefully we can keep that up. Whoa, baby. Let's go. Okay. Okay, 3-0. Welcome to round 4 of 9 in the Vintage ManaTraders event. I am playing Wizard. Wizard is a historically known Dredge pilot, but Dredge has been performing a little rough recently, so he has switched over to Shops. This is more of an aggro-based Shops. We're seeing Walking Ballistas and Phyrexian Revokers, along with 4 Vexing Bauble. Sphere of Resistance is still in the deck for Nettle Cyst, and then sideboard 2 Mindbreak Traps that we have to worry about here. And that's a Pop-Tart tier list. All right. I am recording. Let's begin. We're on the play versus Shops. Is this an acceptable hand on the play versus Shops? It does not have an initial counterspell. Initial counterspell or an initial combo, but we are cantripping and we have a Mox Jet, so I'm okay with that. And at least the Mental Misstep hits a Vexing Bauble in this matchup. Something. I kind of like the idea of, I'd like to hold Probe possibly for a combo, but it doesn't seem likely. We would always have to draw Dark Ritual and Doomsday. So I feel like we just start by probing. My opponent's hand does have a target for Mental Misstep in Volt. They have a Strip Mine, which is a little annoying. Saga, Sphere, Hearse, Foundry Inspector. So maybe we just get an Underground Sea then, if we want to be able to save our island for later. And let's just go Underground Sea Preordain. There's a Doomsday and a Ponder. Now, if we get Wastelanded, we're still an additional land from Doomsday. Are we still interested in pursuing a Doomsday from here? We could theoretically just keep Ponder and keep pondering and try to find Oracle combo. We need to hit more lands. I'm almost thinking that we put Doomsday down, but we don't have a lot of time. There are double spheres coming. Hopefully my opponent goes like Saga Vault and we just hit Mental Misstep and we're not even restricted next turn. I'm gonna try keeping Doomsday and F3. I need to play this Jet. I almost F6 through. All right. See what opponent does here. I assume Saga Mana Vault then. Okay. It's a really big Mental Misstep. So I didn't get Strip Mine, which means I can just cast Doomsday. So if I had held my Gitaxium Probe, maybe things would have been a little bit better. I like the idea of time walking here, which would let me theoretically win the game on the next turn with Doomsday into Cantrip. Does it make sense to ponder first? Because we would, but if we ponder first, we need to find land and Cantrip, but we get a bunch of looks at that. It's kind of an interesting spot. I feel like we're supposed to ponder first. So that is Dark Ritual. Funnily enough, if I hadn't Cantrip, this would have worked. Force. Is keeping Dark Ritual do anything for me? I mean, it makes it so I can draw a Cantrip on the next turn and win. If I want to do that, I could, of course, just Dark Ritual Doomsday now, but I'm trying to win the game on the same turn before my opponent gets to untap and play a Sphere of Resistance. But maybe that's a silly thing. I could theoretically just take, yeah. So if I take Dark Ritual, all I'm missing is a Cantrip of any kind off the top. I feel like that's enough. Because this just like counts as drawing a land, right? And even if I don't, I'm still playing a Doomsday past the turn pile. But I guess I wouldn't need a ritual at that point. Demonic Tutor, that's got to be enough, right? So if I go Dark Ritual, I have 3. Oh, I can just go Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Thassa's Oracle combo. So that should just be good. Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Consult, Oracle, Consult, a good data pie. All right, game 1. This deck is broken. How is this deck legal? Just crazy. Okay, so we know that our opponent is on a shops list that's going to have 2 Mind Break traps post board. Anything else we want to be worried about? We know there's Vexing Baubles and Spheres. There could be Null Rods. Mostly just 2 Mind Break traps to think about. That's not a deck. There's too many things. All right, close everything else. So we have 2 Steel Sabotages, a Dress Down, a Negation, and a Mind Break trap coming in. Do I need Push or Long Goodbye in this situation versus Inspector, Lodestone, Ballista, Revoker, Automaton? Not really. I think these cards are all fine on their own here. Flusterstorm comes out. I guess Mental Misstep will stay in just because of Bauble. It's kind of a weird little issue, but Necro comes out. And then one more card comes out. Probably just like a Cruise or a Dig. Maybe a Dig. I guess I could keep Mental Misstep. Maybe just a Dig is fine. And then I think Steel Sabotage fills my role of removal here. So let's just submit this. Okay, now on the draw. This is a little bit harder. We got tons of value out of that Mental Misstep last game. That was pretty crazy. So this hand is Force, 1 land, Sabotage, Ponder. Looks like a keep to me. Hopefully we don't get Vexing Bobbled, because then my Force is good. I mean, I don't have to use my Force. Jet, Workshop, Trinisphere. All right, that's a very easy Force Pitch. I like Force Pitch Cruise. And then I like holding up Sabotage. Maybe I could have kept Cruise then and just pitched Oracle. Vexing Bobble. Vexing Bobble is fine. Must have drawn it for turn, or they would have played Vexing Bobble and then Trinisphere, and then we would have lost the game. Opponent said, no, I did not have it before the 3-ball. Unlucky. All right, didn't draw. They didn't play another spell. So let's end of turn fetch for an Undercity Sewers. Definitely wish I had Treasure Cruise back. Ponder. I think I like a second Ponder here. Just with the fetch land and the ability to fetch away. Spell Pierce, Vampiric. Okay, I want Vampiric, but I also need this land. Shit. That's quite unfortunate. Well, maybe I'll... Vampiric gets me to consult, which is what I'd like to do in this game. But I also will probably... I might not have to fetch. They might just make Saga tokens. I mean, they might just not. They didn't have a follow-up there. Because I can't just Vampiric for console because I won't have the mana. I can get a mana, in which case I'll just have to wait 1 more turn, and that'd be pretty good. Are there needles in this deck? Wasteland. That's really, really unfortunate. Okay, I really don't want to crack my land now, because I have another land on top. Looks like they're not making Saga tokens, though, so that's definitely an upside. So, okay, I can just draw... So now the question becomes, are we fetching a basic island here and casting Ponder? Yeah, I think we are. I mean, we're going to have to fetch against... We have to see if there are needles, actually. There's 1 needle, so I'm going to have to fetch a non-basic anyways, which is a little unfortunate. But... All right, let's Ponder. Ancestral... Gush Island. Huh. What are we doing with that? I can't really cast this Ancestral right away because I'm gonna have to fetch. I guess we just keep Ancestral and fetch, because what else are we really doing from here? Because I have to fetch. I can't get stuck underneath a needle. I guess it's fine. Like, these are the cards that I want to draw off the Ancestral, though. But I'm not really willing to, like, just draw the island. Am I? I might be. Because if I just take the island and they don't have a wasteland, then I can just vamp for consult and consult kill. But if they do have a wasteland, then I really want Ancestral, right? Yeah, I don't want to lose a land to a needle no matter what. Every land is extremely important from this spot. No, Gush is bad. I know. I'm not debating Gush. I'm debating Ancestral versus Underground Sea, because Underground Sea represents a lethal kill next turn. But if I have to steal Sabotage, oh, I'm gonna take this Ancestral. But like, I'm holding up Steal Sabotage. So if I have to Steal Sabotage, then I want Ancestral. But if I were to have to do nothing, then, oh, they're gonna crack Bobble. Makes sense. Maybe I should have cracked for an Underground Sea instead of an island for my Ponder, because now you're in your draw step. Don't do that. Now I'm like exposing myself to Wasteland a little bit, and I'll have to use Ancestral, which I guess is fine. Oh, they're just getting a new Bobble. That makes sense. Sphere. Got him. Another Saga. Okay. Okay, so there's no Vampiric that wins from here, right? Like, we could theoretically... No, I'm just gonna go for... Oh. I don't have enough mana for that, though. So I hit it anyways. So I could vamp for a land. Is that worth doing? I don't think so. I think I'd rather just Ancestral and see what I draw. Oh my. Drew a Force. So if I Ponder and miss on a land, it's super bad. I wonder if I shouldn't have Ancestraled. If I vamp for a land and I get wastelanded or sphered, that's the problem, though. I missed on 7 cards? Uh-oh. That's the second time that's happened. Wait, am I losing this game now? Uh-oh. Maybe I should just vamp for a land. Because they're trying to play Mana Rocks here, right? Okay, so if I just vamp for a land, I would have won. Fetch land wins it. I drew another Oracle. This is so weird. All right, there it is. And now I can even vamp for another land. So I feel like we're fine. We're going to take a big hit, but it's not a huge deal. I could even play another Oracle right now if I wanted to. No, that doesn't play around the right cards. But what if I get sphered, man? I don't even have Dark Ritual Force. I kind of hate how this game went. I don't know if it was... It could have been my fault. It could have been bad sequencing. Oh, I need to fetch in response here from the needle. I mean, I think it's fine. I just have to hope they don't draw a really good card here. There are things that can go really badly here, though. Just even a sphere is quite bad. At that point, I probably vamp for a dress down. Wasteland is not... Wasteland I'm beating. I think I'm fine. I don't know. That game makes me feel uneasy, but... Got there anyways. GG's. Weird. Welcome to round 5 of 9, currently 4-0. In our 4-0 match, we're up against Super Cow. Super Cow is on Bug, a very cool looking Bug deck with a main deck Energy Flux. Looks like it's really geared towards permanence. Things for us to worry about: 4 Collector Roof, 4 Psychic Frog, 2 Leovold, 2 Fluster, 5 Blue Forces, and then post board there's some traps. But overall, it's just your normal bug fare. I do find this matchup to be fairly challenging, so it should be interesting to see if we can pull it off. My hand is turn 1 win, so I keep. You're gonna get a turn 1 oof off of Moxen, or no? Okay. There's a Wasteland. So... Force? Oh, probe. So now I drew this. I can actually probe to make sure the coast is clear. My opponent has Ancestral, Oof, Push, Vigor. So that should just mean I win the game. Yo, what's up, Gaffer? GG's. You kicked my butt. Your deck was very powerful compared to mine. All right, Doomsday. Cast Doomsday. So all I need here is, I mean, everything works here. I guess I technically even, so let's see. I can Street Wraith into a Black Lotus. Black Lotus to an Ancestral. Oracle. So let's just double check here. Street Wraith down to 4 cards. Ancestral down to 1 card. I mean, that just works. I don't have to like worry about this at all, right? Ancestral, Collector Roof, Fatal. I'm surprised I didn't go turn 1 Collector Roof with this hand, but I guess I needed the Deathrite to be Ancestral. Is there like anything I should do differently? Not really, right? Okay, so Street Wraith from 5 to 4, Ancestral from 4 to 1, Black Lotus, Oracle. I guess I can just do... I don't know, another Oracle and an Underground Sea. Or sorry, I guess I can do Oracle and a Sapphire, but I'm not actually drawing that many cards. It doesn't matter. Let's just win the game, Justin. This doesn't make black mana or blue mana. Okay. My other 2 cards like just don't matter, so Sapphire, Oracle, Lotus, Ancestral, Street Wraith, Ancestral, Black Lotus, Oracle. Yep, just another turn 1 win. All right, game 2 against Bug. We get to bring in Long Goodbye and Fatal Push, and maybe Dress Down, and then take out Spell Pierce, and probably Vamp and Mystical. I guess Daze is maybe Daze. Maybe Daze. I mean, Necro is pretty bad in this matchup too. So maybe I just take out Necro, Daze, Spell Pierce, and I leave in that. Shieldred is mostly like for Lurrus Saga as just a pivot. Like my opponent's not gonna like get rid of their Okos or anything here, so it's not like Shieldred is some kind of beast or anything. If I had maybe Murktides, I would be interested in bringing Murktides in this matchup. But I don't know. I think I'm going to do this, and we'll hit submit. All right, my hand has no mana, so that's an easy mulligan. This hand is very strong. Let's keep it. This one does have a turn 1 Doomsday. That's not a win. Just get rid of this Gush. I had 2 Moxen openers here, so I'm bugging it out. Deathrite Shaman. The question is if we're supposed to go all in on a Doomsday. Because we can go Tarn, Sapphire, Demonic, Lotus, Doomsday, and we have a Street Wraith to break into the pile. So we do technically win. Because we can break into the pile with a Street Wraith, get the Black Lotus back, and then go, I mean, let's go for the win, right? They have 2 Mindbreak traps, but would they have kept a 7 that didn't have a force? I'm okay with it. Well, am I okay with it? Well, I'm okay with up to Doomsday. We'll see about winning. I guess they can theoretically trap this Lotus here. Okay. I will cycle a Street Wraith and see if we can find a force. No. Okay, so they had a force for my Doomsday. I still have multiple cantrips and 2 pieces of mana. I did give my opponent a Deathrite Shaman land, unfortunately. But make him have it. Pitched Oko. All right, fetch of their own. So they are 3 mana here. 3 cards in hand, 3 mana. We're like happy that their opponent doesn't have a wasteland. We would not want to see a Leovold here. A Needle, that's fine. I didn't even think about Needle. Is that just named Street Wraith, I guess? That's okay. Is it an Oof as well? An Oof is a little bit more annoying, but nope, they're just gonna eat the Demonic Tutor. Okay. So we kind of have free reign on our turn here. Fatal Push. Start with a Preordain. Land drops are good. Mental Misstep. I really want to hit a land drop, so I think I'm going to cast this Preordain here. I didn't hit a land. Do I want a Fluster or a Doomsday or a Vamp? I actually don't want any of these cards, so let's just shuffle. Oracle. All right. I really wanted to hit a land drop for turn and Fatal Push this Deathrite Shaman, but I guess Fatal Push is also pretty good against Leovold here, so... Oof, there it is. I guess it's better against Oof, there it is as well. So I do have Dress Down. Flusterstorm. I think I just hit this now. And it's my opponent's turn. I'm in a little bit of trouble because my Preordain and Ponder did not really get me the cards I was looking for. So my opponent eats here. 1 card in their hand. Jet. So... Consult from away from winning. I'm gonna cycle this Dress Down. I have like so many cantrips that I can hit. Feels like it's worth it. I'm just trying to find action before my opponent finds action. Hit me a land drop, so it wasn't bad by any means. I assume one attacker, one eater. 9 rounds is so many. And then a pass. Okay. End of turn, we'll go get an Undercity Sewers. Looking for our consult. Dig through time is good. I'm going to wait till my opponent goes for the eat, and then I'll dig through time. I think the 2 life is very relevant, and I'd like to tap my opponent out of mana as well. I have plenty of other things happening, so... All right, opponent's going for the eat, and I'm going for the dig. I'm just going to dig my spells and my lands. I guess I'll dig this thing so that they don't have Tarmogoyf. I guess some of them actually don't have Tarmogoyfs in their deck, but okay. So I hit Rainstorm Force, Time Walk, Ponder. Is this just like Ponder Time Walk? I guess it could theoretically be Force Ponder. I don't think Brainstorm is the one. I think I like Force Ponder just so that we don't end up with like a Leovold or something. Also, Ponder opens me up to a possible Doomsday kill. Dothy Voidwalker. How do I feel about Dothy Voidwalker? Kind of don't want to play against Dothy Voidwalker, but is it really worth countering? Doesn't feel like it's worth countering. Maybe I'll regret that. I'm kind of banking on this Ponder a lot, but we have lots of really good hits now. Street Wraith was turned off. Kind of unfortunate. Any demonic consultations? That's a dark ritual. So I guess none of these cards are good. I could theoretically dark ritual a Street Wraith here, but it's not actually stopping a Voidwalker. So I guess we're just shuffling. Another Ponder. Another Ponder. So am I supposed to just keep both and wait, or am I supposed to like keep Preordain and bottom the other 2? I could keep a fetch. I'm just like trying to find consult, right? And what are the best cards to help me find consult is more things, but I only get to cast like 1 per turn. So like, but am I casting this Ponder? But like, what's that doing? I'm just drawing into another, just like thinning. But like, I guess I do want Island, right? So I guess I do. I just take this Preordain, and then next turn I take... Oh, maybe I should have taken Fetch. I should have taken Fetch, huh? Shit. Okay, my bad. I should have taken Fetch, because that would have actually helped me. Now I'm going to have to bottom the Fetch land. That was a small mistake here. 3, 6. Though depending on the things that could happen, I might need that 1 life. Things are a little rough. Just trying to find a win. I didn't really... I guess I could... I found Doomsday. Is that a win? If I could use my Street Wraith, Doomsday would be a win. But the needle on Street Wraith... I guess Doomsday wouldn't be a win, right? Because I would go to 3. No, I would. But I can't use my Street Wraith anyways. Even if I did go to 3, I couldn't use my Street Wraith. So I have to just bottom Doomsday. I just need to find exactly consult. Like I said, I should have probably fetched, but no, I hit another fetch land. So I'm just deterministically dead from this spot. This was a pretty sad game because I could have forced this, but I felt like having force and Flusterstorm and just like going for an Oracle kill would be a really easy way to win. I can't use Street Wraith at all, so it doesn't actually matter. Yeah, but if I went to 1, then my opponent could eat with Deathray Shaman and kill me. So, all right, I didn't get there. I mean, I didn't have that many cards that got me to where I needed to be for what it's worth, but still a little sad. Let's bring this Daze in and take this Mystical out. Man, I just felt like I had a good shot in that game with how many cantrips I had and my counter spell suite, but maybe I've been too lucky all day and I've just been thinking that I'll always get the cards I need. Yeah, the big thing I could have done is force the little guy. Oh my god. Okay, I keep. All right, so I guess we start by seeing what's in my opponent's hand. Probe, Force, Wasteland, Needle, Beseiju, Oof. All right, let's cycle a Street Wraith. Long goodbye. Let's cycle a Street Wraith. Ponder. Resolves. I feel like I just cycle another Street Wraith. Bam. I feel like getting my Ancestral Force is like really good for me though. Like my opponent's hand, like they just have nothing left, right? They just play turn 1 Needle. Yeah, but if they do that, it's like not the end of the world, right? I can just long goodbye it. If I had fetched an but if I fetched an Underground Sea, then I couldn't have vamped. Like they would have wastelanded me, right? So does a fetch work here? I can get if I draw a fetch, then I can make blue. So I can make blue, black. No. I drew a force. I just ponder then. I can vamp, and then I have double black. I mean, it's just not good, right? I double black, and then I ponder. But it's like, it's not good. Ah, I feel like this game is like so close. Doomsday. I guess that's fine. We just take Doomsday, and then I have Force for Collector Oof, and on the next turn I go for Ancestral Black Lotus. And I just have like the only thing I have to dodge at that point is yeah, we can make a Doomsday pile. This didn't really work the way I wanted this game to go, but whatever. It's fine. So my pile needs to include a land. So my pile needs to include a land. So my top card is Ancestral. My bottom card is an Undercity Sewers. I can't use Flooded Strands. I didn't realize that. I do need another Oracle. Can I build a pile to beat Strip Mine? Not really, no. Like I need to build like the most powerful pile and then go from there. So like I'm going to build Ancestral into Lotus Oracle. I need to have another land in case my opponent just goes land Beseiju. I have Force for Oof, so I shouldn't have to worry about Oof. If my opponent goes land Beseiju, can I like make this pile more redundant? I can't really, right? Maybe the only thing I can do is like have an additional land in it. Does that help? Because like if I have to force, I'm gonna have to pitch Oracle. But if I don't have to force, I don't have to pitch Oracle. And then can I have like a different blue card in my pile? Yeah, they can't Beseiju basic. Okay, so I guess I don't need a land in my pile then. But they could draw Strip Mine, in which case I don't really need a land in my pile either because I have Black Lotus. So if my opponent draws Flusterstorm on Ancestral, then what is my follow-up play? I think that's the thing that matters the most. I'm going to 5, and I can will, and I could still Street Wraith. So maybe the answer is like Ancestral, and then Probe, and then Lotus, and then Oracle, and then a backup land for another Oracle. Draw for turn down to 4, Ancestral down to 1. So like, say something happens where there is a Collector Roof or a Vexing Bauble or something that resolves, and having a second land lets me go land Oracle as my last card, and my second Oracle even. I guess theoretically, I could put a Flusterstorm in the pile, and if Ancestral resolves... Well, what about Mindbreak Trap? We should be worried about Mindbreak Trap. So actually, instead of Gataxian Probe, maybe we put a Flusterstorm in the pile so that we cast Ancestral, then we cast Black Lotus, and then we cast Thassa's Oracle with Flusterstorm backup. But I do have a Force of Will for a Mindbreak Trap, but they do have 2 Mindbreak Traps. So I think I like this pile. So this pile is the worst against Flusterstorm on Ancestral, because then I will be multiple turns away. I would have to put Black Lotus and then Oracle. Oh, wait, no. I could then go Black Lotus, Oracle, Oracle. So... Well, so if they do just go Beseiju, Collector Roof, I force Collector Roof. Okay, I think I like this pile. So my last card is Underground Sea, and then my second to last card is Flusterstorm. And then my cards are Oracle, Lotus, Ancestral. Go. Well, I mean, it all depends. Like, they have 2 unknowns to draw. There's a lot of different variations. Like, the most likely idea is Beseiju, Collector Roof. Oh, they didn't even play the Beseiju. All right, and so now they have 1 unknown, and our pile beats Mindbreak Trap, but it doesn't beat Mental Misstep. Let's go! I'm so on point today. Let's go. I'm just on it today. Let's go. Okay, we're starting round 6 of 9. Still XO. Our opponent this time is on blue-black Lurrus. Nethergoyf, Psychic Frog, 2 Vexing Bauble, 3 Negation, 4 Force of Will, and then in the sideboard, an additional Negation, an additional Bauble. Tough matchup. This is probably one of our worst matchups, but we'll see what we can do on the play. Was hoping to face one of the Dredge players. Right now, there are 4 Dredge players at 5-0. So this is a turn 1 Vamp for Lotus, Street Wraith into Lotus, Necropotence with the ability to look at Architaxian Probe. Or, yeah, let's do that. And then we still have a backup Oracle plan, possibly. Let's see what our opponent's on first, though, like card-wise. They do have a negation here, which definitely makes my plan worse. But they also have a Wasteland, which makes my plan even worse. So I think... this is a tough... Like, this is why this matchup is tough. Wasteland, Saga, Moxen, Counterspell, Counterspell. Sink into Stupor as well. We're going to have to make them burn at least Negation. But I can't really afford to go for the Vamp, because if I go Vamp, Lotus, draw, Necro, gets negated, untap, they Wasteland me. I'm just dead. So I think we're better off just maybe even cycling the Street Wraith. Like, I don't think there's any end of turn Vamp plays that are super good. I think we just cycle this Street Wraith and maybe we fetch and get a Preordain. And we gotta try to build out our mana base. So this is gonna have to be a basic island, which is unfortunate as well. Gosh, another I actually don't want these. Okay, got the land. So now we'll have to see what our opponent does with their Ruby, Wasteland, Saga, Sink into Stupor, Negation, Pierce. If they draw a blue card and maybe they want to go like Sink into Stupor, hold up Pierce, Negation. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to assume that they have a blue card for Negation plus Spell Pierce. Don't really want my Demonic to be negated. I could just pass and go for an end-step Vamp, but I'm not actually like progressing. So let's see what they do if I just cast a Preordain. Nothing. I drew Dark Ritual Daze. I can definitely get a counterspell with this Dark Ritual or this Necro. That exposes me to Wasteland. I could just wait, and then I get to keep up with Daze, possibly. Don't know if like a Daze is going to help me, though. Like, is my opponent actually going to tap out for Daze? Doesn't really feel like that's likely. I want to exhaust my opponent of resources and then go for Oracle Consult, probably. So is it worth it to run into a Spell Pierce here? I guess I could theoretically Vamp for a Fluster. I feel like waiting is good still. But then I do still want to Vamp or Demonic for a Console. It's a hard game. This matchup is just very challenging. They have lots of ways to attack Saga. All right, I assume 2 counter spells from here. Let's see if my opponent just like hits a Spell Pierce on this Vamp. Because I could go Dark Ritual Necro around Spell Pierce. So maybe they're just supposed to cash in Spell Pierce here. Yeah. All right, so now they're on probably one piece of counter magic. I drew Consult. So do I win? Because I can get... No, because I can't get a Force, right? So even if I were to Dark Ritual for a Demonic Tutor and go for Oracle Consult, I can't get a Force because I don't have a blue card. So I guess what we do is we Dark Ritual for a Necro, get that countered, and then Demonic for another land, and then untap and go Oracle Consult and hope they don't have another piece of counter magic. Like, they have to negate this. Negation pitching, Lorien revealed. And then from here, we simply get an additional land and go off next turn. And if they have another counterspell, then we lose. How many Flusters are in their deck? One Flusterstorm. Can kind of play around Flusterstorm by going Consult first. Think we're willing to risk that. I'm willing to go all in, see if it works. They'd have to have drawn Force blue card. Sweet. Love how I played that game. Love how I played that game. Gataxian Probe is so broken. Shieldred. Long Goodbye. Fatal Push. And Dress Down. Versus 4 Frogs. Don't like this Daze. Or this Spell Pierce. Or this Vamp. Or this Mystical. Easy replacements. Submit. Yeah, it will be. Fatal Push, Oracle, Fluster, double cantrip. Seems good. Gataxian Probe, F6. Vexing Bauble, don't mind that. I side out tutors when my opponent's going to have a lot of non-force counter magic, or it's like basically when it's like bad for it to be card disadvantage. I like just fetch a basic and cast Preordain. I don't know if you're supposed to Preordain or Ponder here. Probably need to figure that out at some point in my life. I guess it's technically better to hide a Ponder, but we're gonna play a longer game here. Though there are sagas, but they can't play a Moxen, so they can't make saga tokens. So unless their plan is just to cycle this bubble, like land. Oh, strip mine, sick. I tried, chat. Yeah, let's do Ponder. Mox, Sapphire, fetch. I think I'm down for all of these fetches, though. I think that's just the kind of game we're playing. I hope I don't get... This is... They don't know about this, right? So they don't feel needle me or anything. Float a mana. It's gonna be a long game. I assume this is like Jet Frog then. Oh, Jet Wasteland. Okay. And Bowmaster. Okay. This is why we kept all these fetches. Probably interested in just fetching and fatal pushing this while they're tapped out. Because I'm going to be casting Cantrip next turn, hopefully. I don't know. Currently, I like my spot. I feel like I'm ahead on cards. Upkeep Vampiric Tutor. They're just going to get another Wasteland. I played this game around my opponent having infinite Wastelands, so I think it's okay. No, they went for Saga. That makes sense, actually. Nope. Sapphire. Oh, no. No, opponent, no. A classic Vexing Bobble. Very nice. Flusterstorm. All right, Ponder. Street Wraith, Sewers, Sea. See, I don't feel like I want any of these cards, though. Like, my opponent didn't tutor for a Wasteland there, so I don't feel like I need more. I really like I'd rather have, like, cantrips or something. I guess I could technically take the Street Wraith for a rebuy, but... Gush. Sure. Gush is not good until they crack this bauble, but it kind of seems like they might crack the bauble eventually. Maybe not. I don't currently have an answer for Saga tokens. I do have a dress down in my deck, though. I guess I have one answer for one Saga token. Yeah, they immediately had the land, so that's a good spot for them. Things are definitely up on the up and up for them. Let me go with an end step Undercity Sewers. We've got a lot of really strong hits. Our delve spells are all really good. Lots of good stuff happening. Even a Doomsday is fine. Delve spell, top. We have to be careful, though. They're going to start clocking us. Right. All right, when they make a construct here, they'll be tapped out. I will cast a Dig Through Time. Does it matter what cards I take out here? Fetches. Keep. Cantrip. And a land. I guess I don't need all these cantrips. Okay, dig. So dig hit the dress down. Perfect. Also hit a Doomsday, and then all of these other cards are turned off by Bauble, so. All right, so they can go make constructs all they want here. Do they have a needle in their deck? They could have a needle. So I will fetch in response to this. Another construct makes sense. All right. Probably get a Black Lotus. So far, this Vexing Bobble has mostly just stopped my opponent from casting anything, but taking a big hit here. But we can always resolve this stress down with Flusterstorm here, so... Definitely want to land is my best draw. Sweet. That plays around Spell Pierce. Okay, I kind of want my opponent to crack this and play a Force of Negation is why I'm doing this on my turn. Because getting a Force of Negation out and then getting it Flusterstormed here would be a really high value play. So now I have Oracle Consult on the next turn. I just need a with bunch. Yeah, this is just. I'm just like out grinding this deck. It's a really, really nice spot to be. Like obviously they can like buy and play Lurrus here, but does that even help them? This bauble is really sus. Frog, don't care. All right, out of lands. I have to hope this consult works, though. I only have one Flusterstorm. I think we just go for it. If it's hard cast negation, we're covered. If it's fluster, we're not. Spell pierce, we are. Spell pierce, we're covered. Yeah, I think it's like a little dicey to do a gush. But if my opponent cracks this bobble, then we could always gush for a force. My opponent could have a Ancestral Recall, actually, which would kill us, but that's okay. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Brainstorm. Found a force. Gush, force. Did not find a force. Okay. My opponent's down to 1 card, no mana, and I have a 1/3 blocker. I am not particularly worried about losing this. Dark Ritual gives me a kill next turn. I guess I'm probably supposed to hold open Fluster, actually. I mean, all of these things are just so winning. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not gonna actually be able to cruise, but do I want to keep cruise anyways? Yeah, if I had gushed and gotten it countered by Bobble, I could have played another land and had an additional Flusterstorm. I am aware of that play. I just think that this play is just better. Like, it's maybe the other play is deterministic and I'm just supposed to do it. So maybe it's not better. That's a perfectly reasonable thing for me to be wrong, but I think this is just a better, or like this in my mind, this was a more solid avenue. Better might not be correct. I guess I would like to be able to draw. I don't know. I guess we'll just draw both. In case I get wastelanded off the top, this cruise will be better. Maybe. No, that's not really true either. But I guess I can just cast this cruise first because I have a Dark Ritual, so. But like, my opponent invested everything, had to crack their Vexing Bauble, used all their stuff. They have 1 card left. I have a blocker, and I still have 6 cards in my hand. So we are just super far ahead. But yeah, it's definitely likely that if I had used the Gush and gotten it countered just to make 1 mana, that we would have won the game on that turn. I do agree with what the person in chat is saying. I guess that play is a little risky if my opponent drew the second Bowmaster. I didn't actually consider that. And now I regret it because I was talking to chat too much. Sorry about that. That one's on me. I guess it's a way to bait out a Bowmaster, but then I would be really rough against Doomsday. Yeah, I guess I couldn't have made that play. That play was wrong. Wow. I see, like, you slip up in like 1 second, you start talking about to chat, and then you immediately make a huge mistake that could have lost the game. Let me just look at my opponent's deck list real quick. Spell Pierce, Flusterstorm. Probably not the second Bowmaster at this point. Could be a Dress Down. So Dress Down is the card we need to play around. I could just probe my opponent and see. No, I can't probe my opponent and see. I can probe my opponent for life and see. My opponent's hand is Time Vault. Okay. Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Black Lotus. I don't know. Nothing matters. Time Walk. Island. Doesn't matter. Well, I mean, you would have bowmastered in response to the treasure cruise. So, but yes, I made a bunch of mistakes there because I was stuck talking to chat, and I regret it, but it's okay. Do I have a counter spell? It doesn't matter. Whatever. I played really, really well, except for that one play at the very, very end, where I just like was explaining why I didn't do the play and then ran a treasure cruise into a one of possible bowmaster. But besides that, very, very clean game. All right, here we go. 6-0 bracket. There are two mono white initiative players, 3 judge players, and 1 Lurrus Saga player in the XO bracket here with me, and I have hit the other Lurrus Saga player. So this is a Lurrus Saga player with Tamio, Snapcaster, 2 Basim and 3 Psychic Frogs, 2 Mishra's Bauble, 1 Vexing Bauble, a Soul Guide Lantern, 1 Flusterstorm, 2 Spell Pierce, 3 Negation, 1 Dress Down, and then in the board, another Flusterstorm, and maybe a Needle. Tough matchup. Again, this is easily the worst matchup of all people who are 6-0. Not happy about that. And we lost the die roll. This hand is not super good, but it's probably a keep. Definitely wish we were facing anything else, but this is Magic. Let's play it out. See what we can do. A win here would be very helpful. Soul Ring. Saga Gaming too. That would be a quick clock. They know my top card. Saga Gaming. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Things are bad. Things are very bad. On the play, won the die roll. Turn 1 Saga plus Soul Ring is going to be very hard to beat, especially if they have a force backup after all of this. Not sure. We kind of need to jam an early Doomsday. What is this? By Lurrus? Sure. All right, draw a card off of Bauble. They know that I drew a Street Wraith. So I can Mystical. I could go for a win on turn 2 if they have no counter magic. I can go end of turn, Mystical for Dark Ritual, Doomsday. Maybe there's value in just taking a Ponder this turn, trying to find a force. And then on my next turn, I still have mystical ritual. I don't have ritual win, right? Because I lost my ponder, but if I find another ponder, it works. I feel like we're supposed to fetch a basic island and cast ponder then this turn. We found Ancestral Force. Perfect. Okay, so next turn we have Mystical for a Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Street Wraith into Lotus, Lotus Ancestral, and go for the win. Have to beat... See if we have to beat 2 counter spells. What would you tap Soul Ring for here? Hopefully it's not the 1 bauble. 1 bauble would be kind of annoying. They only have 1 Vexing Bauble, though. It's kind of weird to use a Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, sorry, there's a Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Are they just like playing it and cracking it, trying to find answers, or what's the plan? Okay. Saga. So they'd have to have double force here, or a mental misstep force. Oh no, I have to draw my ancestral though. Huh. I didn't consider that. So I can't go for the Dark Ritual win if I go Mystical here for Dark Ritual Doomsday, Street Wraith, because I won't have a second cantrip. But the problem is they're going to make a construct and get a bauble. Damn. Should I have just not played through with force? Maybe I'm just supposed to go for it anyways after. Just draw this ancestral, go for mystical, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, and then pray we don't die. Let's see. Oh, but what if because we waited a turn? What if because we waited a turn? So I could go mystical, Dark Ritual, Doomsday with force backup, Street Wraith into a Gush Lotus play. Oh yeah, I just like overthought this because of all the things we did beforehand. But we have a Gush play. I think I was thinking about the Vexing Bauble that never happened. I just overthought this a little bit. We just have a very normal Doomsday pile. Dark Ritual. I mean, we can't beat Mental Misstep and Force, and we can't beat Force, but those are fine. Because we kept the Street Wraith, so now we have a Gush. We don't have a Bauble. This is good. Yeah. Gush into cantrip, Lotus cantrip, yeah. All right, so that's just, do they have double force in their hand? So this is Street Wraith down to 4 cards. Gush into Lotus Oracle is down to 2 cards, so that just straight up works. Lotus, Oracle, Gush. So if I Gush and I'm going to 9 life, I can attack for like 5 or 6. Is there a way I can come back with my final 2 cards if my opponent does have a counterspell at the end of all of this somehow? Let's see. Gush, Lotus, Oracle. I'm at blue. I have a blue left over. There's no way that I can. So I could actually go... Because I have to Street Wraith, I can't do an Ancestral after a Gush. Because if I go down to 4 and then I go to down to 2. I can't use like my last card for Ancestral or anything like that. I can have Sapphire Oracle, but it's not going to be fast enough. I have a fetch land, but I don't need that. Is there any way I can play around anything like that? I don't think so. Because I'm going to lose 2 lands on turn 2 here. So even if I went to the countered Oracle at the end, I don't think so. So let's just do Street Wraith down to 4, Gush down to 2, Black Lotus, Oracle, and don't worry about anything else. Oracle, Sapphire, Lotus, Oracle, Gush, Street Wraith, Gush. Lotus. Oh. I mean, I know the removal spells in their deck. It's open deck list. I don't know why I got like confused during that, but I did get confused and like I just had the most normal pile ever. Yeah, like their removal was like 2 fatal pushes there. They're not playing white, they're playing blue-black. Okay, easy, no problem. Deck's still broken. On the draw versus blue-black, I've got a Shieldred, which they will know about. So the Shieldred does get worse because they might just like keep in fatal push or something, but I'm going to bring in the Shieldred, and I'm going to bring in Negation, Trap, Dress Down, and then I'm going to take out Daze, Spell Pierce, Vampiric Tutor, and Mystical Tutor. I guess the Necropotence is like a little worse against this deck just because it's 3 Frog, 2 Beseem, Snapcaster, Tameo. No Bowmasters. 1 Vexing Bauble, 1 Fluster, 2 Pierce, 3 Negation, 4 Force, 5 Waste. A Needle might come in. A Fluster will come in. And then we'll have to see from there. So... Oh, wait. This is not what I want to do. I want Long Goodbye in this matchup, and I want Fatal Push. How did I get to this spot? I don't want Negation and Trap. Oops, that was close. Just the removal spells that answer card advantage engines to give us more time. Negation and Trap don't do anything here, so almost put the wrong cards in. Take a sip of water and calm down a little bit. Yeah, that was really kind of weird because I had all of these weird combinations in hand, and then I just like made it to turn 2. And so Gush is just broken still. Very nice. All right. I kind of felt like that game was a bit of a steal. We kind of hit the exact card we needed to off of our cantrip, right? We found a Force. If we didn't have a Force, that game was probably just lost on the spot. But we did have an Ancestral that we could have hit also there. I don't know if it's like super easy to play through that game with my opponent having the turn 1 Saga Soul Ring draw. It was nice that my opponent never had blue mana, so they couldn't play any of their Spell Pierces or Flusterstorms. That's kind of the downside of playing Saga, even though people will tell you no downside. Doesn't make blue mana. Love a game 1 on the draw. What is this? This is a Shieldred, an Ancestral, a Street Wraith, and 2 cantrips. Can fetch a basic. Looks good. Definitely a reasonable hand to keep. They mulligan to 6. Yeah, I'm trying to win today, so playing the best deck in the format. It's going pretty well. Hopefully we can keep it up. If we can get past this Lurrus player, we'll be pretty happy. We'll be 7-0. with some dice looking other matchups, but this is a tough one. This is probably the most pivotal round. And it's not easy. See what opponents got for us here. They have a very interesting build. Ooh, Black Lotus. Do I want to Street Wraith and possibly Force? No, I don't think so. I would not say 7-0 is locked based on the buys and stuff, but we would be in a good spot. Black mana, Demonic Tutor. Okay. They have Vault Key in this deck? They do not have Vault Key in this deck. Interesting. So this is just going to be like Ancestral Recall? Or what's the plan? Just a frog, maybe? All right, let's cycle a Street Wraith. Did not hit a Force. All right, turn 1 frog, 3 cards from the opponent. If we can find like a Fatal Push off the top, that would be ideal. Nope. So how do we want to play this game? Is it still just basic island preordain? Or is it Ponder? I think it's preordain. Dark Ritual. Okay. Do I want land and Dark Ritual? I do. I think they DT'd for Frog. It's like really good here. It's a pretty crazy engine. I'm wondering if like my play is just too late on the draw here. I also like can just get Spell Pierced on my Dark Ritual, which is a little rough. I'm not sure. This is like a big scenario I was worried about though. Turn 1 frog on the draw. We have a lot of good cards, but like will we be able to do what we want? So opponent knows about my C. Strip Mine. Ah, Strip Mine though. Man, that's so brutal. And Ancestral? Oh, maybe they demonicked for Ancestral and then played Frog. Oh, we're so dead. Just like a hopelessly strong draw from them. All restricted cards. How do I even play this out? I have good cards, but it's just they are full backup on cards here. And they still have a draw engine in play. And how am I resolving cards? I don't know. Restricted Lotus, Demonic Tutor, and Ancestral. I mean, they have quadruple counter magic for 1. Playing an Ancestral here just doesn't really feel like it makes a lot of sense. But like, what am I really going to be able to wait more? But what am I even drawing into? Like force backup on a Shieldred, or I'm just like really behind on mana a little. I'm not really behind on mana, but I'm behind because of this frog. I still don't really want to like just jam an Ancestral though. But like at what point am I going to be able to? All right, force misstep. Okay. I think we want to draw force and then misstep, and then next turn we maybe can deploy a Shieldred. That's not bad. If unless I get wastelanded, in which case like I can't really beat a wasteland, right? I already used my island and got strip mined. But like, is a Shieldred beating a frog from here? It might be. But like, what if they just like sink a million things into it? I guess I have Death Touch, but they can fly every turn. But I guess I can draw a million cards off of Brainstorm, right? Oh, like I have to force this Time Walk, right? I feel like I do. I mean, this is just like the best draw my opponent can have, though. So we're putting up a fighting chance. Ancestral Probe, Time Walk, Strip Mine, Lotus, Demonic, Mox. Maybe they'll have like Misstep for my Dark Ritual, and I'll have Misstep back up, and maybe this is enough. Don't know. They could still have Wasteland, too. They haven't played a land yet this turn. Saga, okay. So now the question becomes, do we get a Shieldred or not? Even if we get a Shieldred, is it good enough? Is another question. If they negate this Dark Ritual, we just resolve, we cast Ancestral. Okay. I guess the good news is if it does resolve and we get to keep it in play, then we have a bunch of life to gain back. I don't think we're ever trading. Kind of a weird game. This still feels winnable, but it's not, you know, obviously we're really far behind. The fact that we're this close with my opponent casting that many restricted cards is a good sign. Kane's flying. Okay, so they're not interested in trading. They do know about our hand of Ancestral Brainstorm. They don't know about Mental Misstep. So they do know that like racing shouldn't work because I have so much counter spells. Oh, they're gonna go racing anyways. I think push is their only removal spell, right? Did I mention other removal spells? I think I just mentioned push. All right, they're just trying to get a little bit more damage. Makes sense. Like, if they can't answer this Shieldred, is it enough? Might be. Every extra card from Frog is 2 damage as well. Another Saga. Okay. I think my best draw is like a land to play around counter spells. Okay. No Bowmaster, so I just like Ancestral. And if they negate it, we Brainstorm in response, maybe. And we're attacking, right? 1, 2. It's a 2/2. They're like, they had negate. If they have Fluster after this, it's really bad, right? Should we just wait until their upkeep and then play our Brainstorm? How much? They have 2 Flusters post board. But I could also draw Fluster here, which doesn't actually save my card. I'm like really worried about getting clocked out if I don't. I think I am gonna, because a Fluster doesn't even do it, right? I go to 3, Storm 3, and then Fluster is only 4. So it would have to be a force. And I'm not sure I would be willing to pitch force on misstep here anyways. All right, I'm going to let this happen. I could have played around that by going upkeep. Should I have done that? Maybe. Maybe I should have just gone Ancestral upkeep. But didn't my Dark Ritual resolve? But I guess they drew an extra 2 cards. Yeah, maybe it's my own fault, and I should have just played upkeep. It felt like it was worth it to cast Ancestral on my turn because I was beating Spell Pierced and Flusterstorm, and then I can draw additional cantrips. All right, so pass the turn on their upkeep before they draw. Let's cast Brainstorm. I guess if it gets Flusterstormed now, is it even that much better than for me? All right, draw 3. Gain 3. Keep a consult and a force on top. F6. Not making a construct. I guess they can buy and play Lurrus this turn. No, they can't because the Lotus has already been used. So if I had... I don't know. I think I like how I played this game, but maybe the Ancestral should have been on upkeep is the biggest problem. Ancestral not being on upkeep looks like it might have... It could have been a huge win for me. Yeah, I was going to get like a cantrip or something. No. This is not a game where we're going necroing. I could also consult for like Time Walk, but I think that's like the most risky possibly. Brainstorm got pitched to Frog. They've already used most of their good stuff, at least. They pitched their whole hand, so they're dealing 8. I'm going to 10. They're drawing a card. They're going to 5. A removal spell wins, but I can't consult for a removal spell. I mean, I can. Like, we know it would win. I might want to consult on my upkeep, actually, so I don't draw this Force of Will. I think I'm supposed to consult for, like, a Ponder or a Preordain. I have 3 Ponders and 3 Preordains. Let's see. Yeah, I think upkeep, consult. So the problem with going for a removal spell is I only have 1 copy. So if it's in the top 6 cards, I would lose the game. So like I'm giving myself a chance to lose the game. Let me see if I do some math though. Am I dying on the swing back here no matter what? I'm going to 2. They have to block. And we do know 2 of the top 6. I don't die for sure because I'm attacking for 4. They have to block. And then I am up to 12 at least, and with preordain, I'm up to 14. So I think I am just, how am I ever beating 3 constructs? Like, I'm winning the game already. I'm winning the game. Like, on board, I am winning. Which is why I'm not, like, super interested in going for a one of here. Yeah, I like my play. I'm going with my play. Preordain. I had all of my preordains in the top 6 and I lost the game. And we knew 2 of the cards. I had 3 preordains in a row and I lost the game. They're not swinging with 2 8/8s next turn, chat. I'm attacking with my Shieldred. They have to block it or they die. Ah. All right. That is like crazy unlucky, but whatever. We play the next game. Do I want to make any changes? Nope. That's just magic, I guess. That's crazy. $12 is not the number because I'm preordaining and I'm going to 14 Arctics. I cast the card Demonic Consultation, Jabber, and Demonic Consultation is choose a card name, exile your top 6 cards of your library, then reveal until you hit a card with the chosen name. I chose the card Preordain because I had 3 copies of Preordain in my deck, and I knew the top 2 cards in my library were not Preordain, and it so happened that of the 4 cards that I did not know, all 3 of 3 Preordains were in those 4 cards, and thus it did not find the card that I named and exiled every card instead. Which was why I was trying to avoid naming Long Goodbye or Fatal Push because it was a much scarier proposition. And yeah. All right, game 3. Oracle, Fatal Push, Street Wraith, Undercity Sewers, Preordained Misstep. Sure. Black Lotus, Underground Sea. I really don't like this spot. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan? I feel like mulliganing there is not very good, though. But, like, I'm not really allowed to keep Black Lotus Underground Sea. I mean, I could, but I don't have a cantrip follow-up, and then I'm, doing what? Undercity Sewersing anyways? But, like, maybe I'm just supposed to keep Black Lotus, bottom Underground Sea, and then cast Street Wraith, or activate Street Wraith? Not great. Yeah, well, Jewel Shops, I think, is mostly a scam. It's a pretty good one. No counter magic backup, though. I got rewarded for the choices I made in this game, but it might just not be enough. This matchup's really hard, and it's gotten off to a very bad start. Especially if they have another Wasteland or something. Soul Guide Lantern? It's gonna stop me from using Black Lotus in a Doomsday pile? That's fine. Cantrips and lands. Oh, I think I made the right play. It just, I am very unlucky in this instance. I'm in trouble. The good news is it doesn't look like constructs are happening. And if they do have a Mox, then they're simply just burying me in Bobble Lurrus stuff, so. I don't feel like I have very good chances from here, but we'll see what happens. Time walk. Yeah, I'm just gonna get buried by Lurrus. They just float a mana, get a Mox, buy Lurrus, Lotus, Lurrus, Bobble, and I'm lost unless I draw out like immediately fetch land. I guess even an Underground Sea I could gush to Revolt. I just like take the higher statistical option and get punished. Ah. I don't really like the hand I kept in this game, but I don't really think I was supposed to mulligan it either. But maybe I was supposed to mulligan. Like mulliganing in this matchup feels really bad. This isn't a very hard choice for my opponent, is it? Am I crazy? Like they just buy Lurrus, play Lurrus, rebuy Bobble. How can I ever win? Oh fuck it. Okay. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah, second main. Now I need to draw fetch. Okay. Okay. They brought back Black Lotus, so they have negation as well. The only reason you bring back Black Lotus is because you have negation as well. So I'm not even beating that. Wow. Oh. So I would have been fine if I draw a land. But I didn't. I mean, my opponent should definitely have just brought back a Bobble there. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah, I don't really like how this last game went. Maybe I was just supposed to mulligan my hand, but like, it's really hard because like I wanted to keep the second land just because it's you know you have to play around wastelands, but I wasn't really progressing the game. Like I have these 3 cards in my hand for the entire game, which is really really bad. So I probably am just supposed to mulligan my opening hand, but I don't know. I mean, I got rewarded for keeping Lotus. Like it did the thing I wanted it to do. It put a winning play on the stack. But the problem is I didn't have any backup for the winning play on the stack. So I don't really feel like it's the problem of the Ponder Preordain. I feel like it's the problem of the keep. Just like too many cards that are situational. And like not a very good robust mana hand. So like my opponent didn't have a Saga here, they wouldn't be on a very, the clock would not be very significant, but because my opponent has a Saga, this is a significant clock. I need a fetch now. This is a hell of a way to go. But what can I do? I don't have any outs anymore. Onwards and upwards. Doomsday, round 8 of 9. I am playing against Baron of Bacon, who is playing stock mono white, 4 bobble, 4 March, just your normal stock mono white. We did win the die roll, very important. Let's see what we can do. Demonic, Street Wraith, Gush, Misstep, Force. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this hand. How we play through this hand is going to be interesting. It will also depend on if they reveal a Chancellor or not. If there's a Chancellor, it's fetch land pass. If there's no Chancellor, it's probably like fetch island ponder. I guess you could consider Street Wraithing, but probably want to keep Street Wraith for a fast Doomsday kill. Opponent's currently mulliganing to 5. They're currently considering a 5-card hand. We've got some nice cards here. We cover a good range. All right, no Chancellor. I'm going to go fetch a basic island and cast Ponder. We might have to pitch this Gust of Force, which I guess is a downside, but... there's just no way we're keeping any of those cards. So, shuffle. Okay. No, they have Bobble now. They could keep on 5, very easily keep like land Bobble. I don't think I'm countering the first Emerald here. No, this is the moment of truth. Am I supposed to counter Jet? Or do I like leave it up to Cavern? Ah, yes! Let's go! I'm playing great today. I am playing great today. It's sad what happened last round, but... Fetch? Sure. I can fetch losing Ancestral and cast Cruise here. It's probably correct. I guess I could like... No, I like casting Cruise here. Playing through an Archon is still going to be annoying, though. Like, playing through an Archon is still going to be challenging. Okay. So I assume Archon's coming. 1 card after Archon. This force is basically dead. All my lands come into play tapped. How do we proceed through this game? 1 spell per turn. Just demonic for... I mean, we're still pretty far off of Doomsday, unfortunately, because I got this basic island. Maybe the basic island was suspect play. But, like, this is the part where I really wish I had a chain or something. How do we play through an Archon from 13 life? It's like really hard just because you can't do demonic consult kill. I'm just like so far from Doomsday though. This is why I really want like a dress down or a chain in my deck. Like, what is my best choice here? Is it Time Walk? To just like get a bunch of mana down fast? Because like I can get the Doomsday, but I'm still so far from the Doomsday, and I have this double Ponder. Maybe that's silly. Or maybe I'm just supposed to get Black Lotus and play Black Lotus next. I mean, that's still going to take a million years. All of these things are just like kind of unfortunately bad against Archon. That's why this deck exists. I'm going to go Time Walk. I'm going to play an Undercity Sewers. I'm going to bin that. And then I can play a tap land and a Time Walk and a tap land. And hopefully my opponent doesn't have a follow-up initiative creature here. Yeah, but like that's like or that requires just as many moving pieces. I don't know. It might just like not be possible for me to beat an Archon off Cavern from this spot. Like they should just name Thassa's Oracle probably. I guess they can just name Time Walk. They named Ponder. That one I don't think I'm as mad about. Necro is terrible from here. Underground Sea. Time Walk. Doomsday. This puts me to 5. No. So that doesn't even work. I guess I should have known that would be the case and definitely not done this play. But now I need, it's 3 turns of attacks. So I guess my only line is then Gush, replay Sewers. I don't think I have like an out. I just need to have a chain in my deck. This game is like super easy with a chain in my deck. Losing this game is so sad. They mulled a 5. I had perfect counters and I just lost anyways because Archon. So if I ponder and then I take 5 and then I preordain, like all my spell, I need to use 3 spells to win, right? I needed them not to have a follow-up creature. Doomsday puts me to 5 and then I die. Okay, next game. I won the die roll and then I lost to initiative on a multi 5. That is not a good sign. Bring in removal, bring in dress down, take out Flusterstorm, take out Necropotence, and take out Cruise on the play. I want Spell Pierce on the play. Maybe Daze is just like still bad. Flusterstorm, yeah, bring in removal. Okay. I don't know. Like, I feel like I played that game pretty close. Maybe a demonic. I should have just gone and gotten Like the pieces I needed to do Oracle Consult Ponder stuff, preordained stuff was like really far away. No, I would never bring in Null Rod here. Yeah. I mean, maybe I could have DT'd for something better, but everything looked really bad. Is it like even good enough? Should I like have DT chain, end of turn chain, or maybe like chain gets named on? No, Tabernacle is not for creature decks. It is just for bizarre decks. My opponent's deck has plenty of mana, does not do anything. I gotta look at their sideboard. I don't think this sideboard has Mindbreak traps. No, it doesn't have Mindbreak traps. Just looking for fast combo hands. That is not a fast combo hand. I think this hand is just garbage. I mean, it has a bunch of lands, it has a force, but is it good? I guess if I like Undercity Sewers on turn 1 and it's a Doomsday, I always have fetch, Fatal Push on turn 1. Maybe it's enough. Like this one's also multiple pieces, and I would much rather have like a fast combo hand, but can I be mulliganing this? I mean, it depends on how many threats they have, chat. Very much depends on how many threats they have. That wins the game. Or does it? Black Lotus, Doomsday, Preordain. I don't think that actually wins the game, does it? Oh, wait, because I could use the jet, so it does win the game. Sweet. Keep. Oh, what if it doesn't win the game if they have Chancellor? If that's the case, maybe I need to keep Force instead of Dig. Yeah, they mulliganed. Yeah, they revealed a Chancellor. All right, so now I just cast Doomsday on turn 1, but I don't. So I get a basic island, and I play and pay for Jet, and then I black load it, or I pay and play. Yeah, pay for Jet, and play Lotus, and I Doomsday, and I won't be able to break into my pile. I guess I could technically throw the Jet into the Chancellor and go Lotus Doomsday and then draw into my pile with Preordain, but then I won't have the extra mana to do an Ancestral. So this Chancellor is going to stop me. So I think if I just go for a pass the turn pile with a force up, and then just go for an Ancestral Lotus play, and if not, I can go lands probably. Yeah, I think that's fine. Ancestral Lotus, land, Oracle. If my opponent plays a force. If they play a Vexing Bauble and a Strip Mine, I can't really beat a player on a Strip Mine. If they play a Vexing Bauble and they play an Archon. If they play... Draw a card down to 4, Ancestral down to 1. I can have double Underground Sea. I feel like that's my play. I feel like my play is Ancestral, land, Oracle. So what does this jet do? Anything? I have a jet, so maybe I don't go Ancestral. Maybe I just go Time Walk. But I can't win the game off Time Walk. So I don't think that helps me. Because I would go Time Walk, and then I would still have to get Island and the other card. So I don't feel like that helps me. So I feel like it's just Ancestral, Lotus, Oracle, wins on the spot. Is there any reason? Okay, I'm just gonna go with that. I think it's fine. So I'm going to go last card Underground Sea. Black Lotus, Oracle, land, Ancestral, go. Oh, I forgot to play the Mox Jet. Oh well. It's fine. Don't think that matters. So if I don't force this Chrome Mox, I think I can let the first Chrome Mox resolve. Because they only have 3 drops, and I need to counter a Bauble, possibly. All right, got there. Game 3. Oh, wait. Jet Bauble? No. Okay. On the draw, we can bring in Negation and Trap. Take out Spell Pierce. And Dig. Game 3 on the draw. Hopefully they don't have something too good. Ugh. I don't like this hand in the slightest. This is going to be a mulligan, and they kept on 7. Yep. No Chancellor. Bauble's fine. So Bauble stops me from winning the game on this turn. Or does it? Crack, fetch, Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual gives me an additional 2 mana. No, we were not fucked if that was a cavern. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is I can demonic, but I can never get a blue mana no matter what. Right? Dark Ritual, demonic. But I can't ever get a blue mana. Maybe is there any value to Street Wraithing once now? But I can't even get a force because there's a Vexing Bauble. It's gonna be tough no matter what I choose to do. Like, I'm going to cast a spell here. But like, what can I really even do? What can I change? What can I really even do? Like, I'm gonna have to have like fetch lands and stuff in my mana base. If they play a Peacekeeper, I'm gonna need to have removal in my mana base. Maybe I'm just supposed to keep both of these Street Wraiths. If I keep both of these Street Wraiths and use both Dark Rituals now, but maybe I don't want to use both Dark Rituals now. Street Wraith into a Demonic Tutor into... Don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. There's no Necro in the deck. There's no Necro in the deck. There's no Necro in the deck. We're playing against mono white. You do not play Necro. I'm just like trying to figure out if there is even a thing I can do with like if I go ritual and then Street Wraith into a demonic tutor, does that help me in any way? Like, I need to put an island and I can get an oracle right now, and then my fetch land might be enough. So Underground Sea, Dark Ritual, Doomsday. And then my Doomsday pile definitely has an island, and it definitely has an oracle. And I can demonic tutor to make it smaller, and demonic tutor for my oracle, and then I have fetch island. And then I also need a fatal push off of my fetch. So if I demonic tutor for oracle, that's 2 cards out of my deck, and then I either draw fatal push or island. And then I probably just need to play another land. And then my pile does not matter as long as demonic is on top. Pass. I think that covers a lot of things. Wasteland's not that bad, because I can't play a follow-up. Do I lose here if it's Anointed Peacekeeper? I don't know why we didn't draw push. What? I have 2 cards in my deck. And we shuffled. If I want to fetch out my Underground Sea, I can't use my Street Wraith. We have to crack against a Peacekeeper because we can't let them name Strand. And then they name Oracle and we lose. I don't know. I feel like this pile was pretty good, though. Maybe there was something slightly better, but we covered a lot of things. And we put a lot of potential to win on the stack, so I don't really mind this pile. It might lose still, but draw a card with Bobble. Sure. I mean, I need 2 mana. So they have March of the Otherworldly Light, which we just play around by upkeep fetching. Let's go! All right, on to the 9th and final round of this ManaTraders event. Our opponent is on Lurrus Saga. We are winning into top 8, lose, and we probably break her out. We have to win here. We've got 4 Frogs, 2 Bowmasters. We've got 2 Consigned to Memory. That's the one that is a Stifle, right? That could be a problem. Whew, 2 Consigned to Memory, jeez. I don't know. And 2 Dress Down. This is going to be just so hard. And 2 Fluster in the board, 1 Fluster in the main, 7 Forces. A very, very, very hard matchup. We'll just see what we can do here. Win and end on the play. 2 Consigned to Memory, huh? That is unfortunate. Ponder, Sapphire, Daze, Fluster. Is this playable hand? Like, if my Ponder misses, it's just game over, so we're probably not keeping it. I mean, it's really not a bad hand if my Ponder hits, though. Time Walks and Dazes and Flusters. Gonna mulligan. Okay. Let's do this. I'm pretty interested in probing, just because I'd like to go like Island cantrip anyways. So I'm gonna probe and see what's up. Probe, Consigned to Memory, Frog, Strip Mine, Bobble. Have Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor. So I could just go Dark Ritual, Demonic Tutor, Ancestral Recall here, while my opponent has no pieces of interaction. That obviously exposes my land to Strip Mine. And they have double cantrip with Probe, Bobble. Or is it better to just Demonic. I can't just like demonic for Ancestral Pass because I can just get strip mined. Is Ancestral enough to be worth going Dark Ritual Demonic for? Like, I'm replacing this and getting one extra card and then exposing my land to strip mine. I could just pass here, but then I need to like play around Consign to Memory, and they're gonna like get a land in play and double cantrip, and it's not even like guaranteed my next turn is better. So I think I am gonna cash in these cards for 3 random cards. They can't stifle my fetch because it's just a triggered ability. And that's an activated ability. I got 2 more fetches, though. This is good. So, like, hopefully my opponent goes for the Wasteland line. If they don't go for the Wasteland line, I could always Daze. But a Wasteland lets me just cast Cruise next turn, so... Consign does have Replicate, which is going to be challenging as well to play around. So, lots of hard things about this matchup. This matchup is very challenging, and their deck list is very interesting. So I could Daze this and protect my Underground Sea, and it won't show them that I have Daze. It's not like a great play. It also like turns off my ability to force. But I should still be able to fetch and cruise on the next turn, so let's just Daze this. But it also means they're gonna like hold up Consign to Memory, right? It's probably fine though. We just need to win with like overwhelming cards and picking a good spot. It like hurts them if they like try to jam a Saga here though. I assume they're just gonna go C pass. It's like a very aggressive Daze, but also like Daze loses most of its value if I keep it in my hand after they probe me. Like all it does is pitch to force, but then pitching to force might have been okay. It's tough. We've already used a lot of cards though, so this Treasure Cruise gets better. Consign hits my Oracle trigger, which is the biggest problem. And I can only win the game with an Oracle trigger. So I need to have... I don't have a Duress in my deck, so I have to have like a Flusterstorm. I only have 2 Flusterstorms, so... All right, they know my top card here. It's another Dark Ritual. I just go fetch. And then I lose my Ancestral to do this, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I don't need to lose my Ancestral to do this. But I could lose my Ancestral to do this because my opponent is unlikely to have Force. So I'd like to be able to maybe Dark Ritual Doomsday from here. So maybe I'm just supposed to keep open black. Like even Necropotence would be pretty good. I think losing Ancestral is worth holding open a black mana. Street Wraith, Preordain. All right, it's at least 1 Street Wraith. Oracle. All right, I'm down to use another Street Wraith then. Okay, so I have a Force. I am closer now to where I'd like to be. Let's see if my opponent is interested in Strip Mine now, or if they're gonna go something else. Underground Sea, holding up Consign plus Replicate 1. So now I can't Oracle combo kill my opponent. I drew another land. That's a lot of land. What are we getting in the main here? Soul Guide, Lantern, Soul Ring, Key, Bauble, Lotus. Fetch, fetch. Drew a dig. No needle, though. No needle. I only have 2 underground seas and a sewers. This is going to be a Lorien revealed cycle, I assume. I have a lot of lands in this game. I kind of wish I hadn't dazed, but... Ancestral Recall. Like, what am I supposed to do now? Because if I pitch this Oracle, then I have to beat Consign. Like, am I letting Ancestral resolve? This game's so hard. I feel like I need Dig, though. Man, Ancestral Recall is so good there. And now they have... Okay, well, so we know their whole hand, so that's nice. Oh, actually, they use this Saga, I should say. I mean, they're just going to, what, play a Frog and hold up in Consign. We're going to end step a Sewers. Maybe they get Black Lotus here and go Lurrus. Oh, they're just going to Volkey me? I mean... Sure. I guess. What the fuck? All right. I don't know. Sure. I, tough. Tough. What's the other card I was taking out in this matchup? It's just Daze. It's going to be a pretty sad 9th place, huh? We drew too many lands there. I'm not bringing in Null Rod to beat just Voltkey. That's just not good. Like, my opponent is on 2 Moxen in their deck. That's just a complete misevaluation of the matchup. Man, that was really sad, but no, there's no splitting and or no IDs in ManaTraders. It's very nice. Yeah, my opponent is on 1 Lotus, 1 Jet, 1 Sapphire, 1 Bauble, 1 Key, 1 Soul Ring, and 1 Ancestral Soul Guide Lantern. Excuse me. I think with this being my only blue card, no, I'm probably, yeah, I'm gonna Street Wraith. It's like a little greedy, but Sapphire Dig. We're so far from Dig, but I kind of want Sapphire. But if I get Wastelanded, it's like super bad. I guess we're just keeping Sapphire. Passing with this. My favorite card, Demonic Consultation. We did win a lot of matches with Demonic Consultation tonight, but they were all combo kills and not value Demonics. All right, didn't get Wasteland. Sapphire on color Moxen, just like me. No, looks like no Frog or anything though. Would have liked that with a long goodbye in hand. Is this ancestral? No. Demonic again. Demonic again? Are we just gonna like try to force our way through a kill? I bought him to dig through time. I'm gonna time walk first. It's gonna be really hard to force through a kill here though. Street Rave. All right, now I could just get Ancestral if I wanted to. But if I get Oracle, I'll have Force and Mental Misstep. Maybe I'll have Force and Mental Misstep if I draw a blue card for turn, so... I know they have a counterspell here. They have Dress Downs, Consign to Memories, Flusterstorms. It's all like a big mess. Do I just go for it? I feel like I just go. Brainstorm, sure. I think I have to hold this Mental Misstep for a couple of various things that I might need to counter. So I normally really like to counter Brainstorms, but I don't think I can here. I'm just kind of hoping I don't get Wastelanded and I draw a blue card and I just jam and see what happens. I could lose, right? Consign to Memory, Replicate. I can only counter 2 parts of it, so... There's a lot of ways to just lose here, but I don't really like waiting. A lot of the times you'll just get drowned out. You'll just not be put in a better spot. Saga Gaming, they didn't shuffle. They have Bobble. They know my top card. I mean, I just like can't beat Consign to Memory here, right? Or Consign to whatever it's called. Consign to Memory. Is it worth like jamming into? Like, how does it get better for me? I mean, this is the thing I chose to do. I don't know if I can really turn back now. I mean, I could wait and make them use mana, but like, is that really helping us? I'd like to like play some things and like get some counters out, but I just don't have anything. 2 Consign, 2 Dress Down, 3 Flusters post board. It's just not going to get better. Like, they just sit on a Saga. Like, they can just consign after my Demonic Consultation. So, if they have Consign, I just die. Even though I can counter 2 parts of Consign. Looks like they have it. I do not know the bottom card because I'd cast Demonic Tutor. This Moxen is killing me. They'd only have 2 Moxen in their deck, but this one is very good. Yeah, looks like they have it. Oh. Maybe they have it and a counterspell. Nope. They had consign plus another consign. All right, yeah. I mean, I don't know. They were ready for it. What am I going to do about it? And force? Yeah, this matchup is too hard. I don't know. I had double counter back up and they had triple counter, so is what it is. Yep, we played what, 8 hours today, and we're on breakers for top 8, but I'm not super optimistic. We'll see what happens. All right, welcome back to the end of day 1 of the ManaTraders event. This was a large 265 player vintage event on Magic the Gathering Online. I did not make it. I did not breaker in. I ended up 10th on breakers here after going 7-2, which is sad. But it is what it is. The top 8 ended up being 3 Dredge players, 2 Lurrus players with very different decks. One was a Deathrite Shaman deck, and one was a 2 Moxen deck. 2 Mono White Initiative players, and 1 Aggro Shops player is the top 8 of this ManaTraders event. This is my Doomsday list. I think the only thing I don't like is the Spell Pierce. I'm gonna change this Spell Pierce for a Chain of Vapor. I was talking to chat a little bit about it, but having a Chain of Vapor will give me at least an out to an Archon, so that I can maybe go for like an end of turn chain on an Archon, and then maybe go Oracle Consult or a Doomsday kill. I think that is the only thing that I'm super interested in changing. The rest is pretty good. I'll have to decide if at the land run I want to play Virtue's Ruin or not. I don't know how much mono white there will be at the land run in comparison to online. It seemed like there was a lot of mono white online today. When the ManaTraders gets the deck list public, I will do a scrape of it and I will categorize them correctly. Right now, all the ManaTraders lists are the wrong names because they didn't have any of the archetypes up in time. But when they go public, I will do a full scrape and I will put it in the data so we all have data from this lovely event. Besides that, thank you to Twitch chat for hanging out. This has been a long stream, an 8 hours and 50-minute stream where we played 9 rounds of Vintage. We also did some GeoGuessr and some Enchant Wordle, and it was a good day. So I am a little sad because one of our losses was out of our hands, really. But I think in general, I'm very happy with the way I played today, especially in comparison to last night, where I would say I played very, very poorly. Today, I played very well. There were some things we could still improve on, and maybe the deck can be tuned a little bit more. But overall, a really strong day of Magic and a really fun one. If you want to see more vintage content like this, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel where there's new content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I will see you then.